Have you ever heard of the F-49? It's a name that whispers through the corridors of aviation history, a phantom jet that represents the pinnacle of what could have been. This isn't just a story about a plane. It's a tale of ambition, secrecy, and technology so advanced, the world simply wasn't ready for it. Welcome, as we declassify the legend of America's F-49 stealth fighter. The story begins in the late 1980s, a time of intense geopolitical tension. The Cold War was still simmering, and the United States was pushing the boundaries of military aviation. We had the F-117 Nighthawk, the world's first operational stealth aircraft, and the B-2 Spirit bomber was on the horizon. But behind the scenes, visionaries at places like Lockheed's Skunk Works and Northrop were already dreaming of the next generation. They weren't just thinking about an upgrade, they were conceptualizing a quantum leap. This is where the F-49 enters the picture, at least in theory. It was born from a set of requirements so demanding they bordered on science fiction. The goal was a fighter that could not only evade radar like the F-117, but also dominate the skies in a dogfight, something the Nighthawk was never designed to do. It needed to be faster, more agile, and more lethal than anything in the air, or even on the drawing board. Think of it as combining the stealth of a B-2 with the performance of an F-15 Eagle, and then dialing everything up to 11. The F-49 was envisioned as a true multi-role dominance fighter. Its primary mission was deep penetration into heavily defended enemy airspace to neutralize high-value targets, both in the air and on the ground. This meant it needed a revolutionary design. Early concepts supposedly featured a blended wing body shape, even more refined than the B-2's, to minimize its radar cross-section from every conceivable angle. The airframe would be constructed from next-generation composite materials, not just radar-absorbent, but also capable of dissipating heat to reduce its infrared signature. One of the most audacious rumored features was its propulsion system. We're talking about something beyond conventional jet engines. Speculation points towards advanced variable cycle engines, capable of performing efficiently at both subsonic and high supersonic speeds, perhaps even touching hypersonic velocities in short bursts. Imagine a fighter cruising at Mach 3 without afterburners, leaving adversaries in the dust before they even knew it was there. Some of the more exotic theories even whisper about magneto-hydrodynamic drives or pulse detonation engines, technologies that are still experimental today. The cockpit of the F-49 would have been a world away from the steam gauges of older jets. It was designed around a virtual reality interface. The pilot would wear a helmet projecting a 360-degree view of the battle space, with data from an array of embedded sensors fused into a single intuitive display. The plane would essentially be transparent to the pilot, allowing for unprecedented situational awareness. Artificial intelligence would act as a co-pilot, managing complex systems, identifying threats, and suggesting tactical solutions, freeing up the pilot to focus on the mission. And the weapons? The F-49 wouldn't carry anything externally. Everything would be housed in internal bays to maintain its stealth profile, but what it carried would be game-changing. We're talking about hypersonic missiles, directed energy weapons like tactical lasers for defense and offense, and swarms of autonomous drones that could be deployed to scout, jam, or attack targets. It was designed not just to fight a battle, but to command it, a true flying command center. So if this aircraft was so incredible, where is it? Why aren't we seeing F-49s patrolling the skies? The answer is as complex as the aircraft itself. The first major hurdle was cost. The research and development for these groundbreaking technologies were astronomical. The end of the Cold War in the early 1990s led to significant defense budget cuts, the famous peace dividend. Suddenly, the justification for a fighter that cost billions per unit became very, very difficult. The F-22 Raptor program, which was already underway, offered a more pragmatic, though still incredibly advanced, solution. Furthermore, the technology itself may have been a step too far. Materials science, computing power, and engine technology might not have been mature enough in the 90s to reliably produce the F-49. Building a single prototype is one thing. Creating a dependable, maintainable fleet is another challenge entirely. The risk of failure was immense, and with the primary adversary, the Soviet Union, gone, the appetite for that level of risk had vanished. The project, or more accurately, the collection of projects and ideas that comprised the F-49 concept, was quietly shelved. But the story doesn't end there. The F-49, even as a phantom, cast a long shadow. The research conducted under its umbrella didn't just disappear. It became a wellspring of innovation that fed into virtually every advanced military program that followed. The sensor fusion and helmet-mounted displays in the F-35. You can see the F-49's DNA there. The development of the next-generation bomber, the B-21 Raider. Its design philosophy of extreme stealth and networked capabilities echoes the F-49's goals. The unmanned combat aerial vehicles, the loyal wingman concepts being tested today, that's the F-49's drone swarm idea coming to life. The legend of the F-49 serves as a powerful reminder of how ambition drives progress. It was a black project, in the truest sense, a ghost in the machine of military development. While it may never have taken flight as a single, complete aircraft, its spirit is alive in the technology that defines 21st century air power. It was the impossible dream that made today's reality possible. It wasn't a failure, it was a catalyst, a vision of the future that arrived a few decades too soon. The F-49 was the jet the world wasn't ready for, but its legacy prepared the world for what was to come. What do you think? Was the F-49 a real, cancelled prototype, or a collection of what-if studies? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into aviation's best-kept secrets, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. See you next time.